Hi, I'm Gandalf Clark,
I'm Ellen Clark.
and
And
we're the
we're the
Clarks.
Clarks. Strange New Worlds discussion.
We're not putting this up until after the spoiler ban is lifted. I think that's Saturday at midnight. I think is when they said the spoiler ban is lifted
hmm
on the groups that I belong to on Facebook. So I'm gonna go with that.
First, we want to talk about the musical episode. Gandalf, why don't you talk to us about that?
Okay, the musical episode, Subspace Rhapsody. All right, I really enjoyed it. I think my favorite part, the part I found the funniest, was the Klingons.
Oh my god, that was really funny.
That was really
They're
funny.
like a rock band.
They were like a boy band.
Yeah, like a rock boy band.
Yeah. Were they rapping or were they rocking? I don't
They
remember.
were
They were
rocking.
rocking.
They were
Okay.
rocking.
But I've only watched it once, and I've listened to the soundtrack once. Because
Yes,
of
on
course there's a
Apple.
soundtrack, and I of course grabbed it. They said they wanted to set their bar at Buffy level, and while I don't know that they achieved quite that much, I mean maybe they achieved quite that. Maybe they achieved that much. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. You didn't really enjoy it.
I don't know. I think I need to rewatch it again. I wasn't feeling it as much. I feel like I just wasn't as invested in it. Like, I think you were just so ready for it. You were in a musical
Yeah, I
mood.
was in a mood. I was in the mood
I
for
don't
it.
think I was in a musical mood. I feel like I wasn't ready for it. Like, I think I need to rewatch it again.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. And for those people who are sensitive to violence, there's like no violence in the episode at all. It's the episodes that have been the best episodes I've found are the ones that were not that violent. Honestly,
hmm
I mean, not that the violent ones aren't good. It's just it's more about the science when it's not about the violence.
The episode that I really liked was this week's episode, the season
The season
finale.
finale. Okay, well, before we talk about that, I want to talk about a couple other. Before we talk about that, I want to
Okay.
talk about a couple other things. Um, those old scientists.
Okay.
That was the one that with the lower decks crossover.
hmm
That was a few weeks ago. That was really good.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I enjoyed that.
It was really good that they put the comedy stuff in with the serious stuff and say it's
hmm
all canon.
hmm
I think that's really cool.
There's so many treks going on right now.
There are a
It's
lot
like
of tracks,
what
and in
comes
fact, in a
first?
few weeks, lower decks starts up.
I love lower decks.
So yeah, lower
So they're so
decks. The new
good.
season of lower decks starts up in a few weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I really liked those old scientists and how they were just how Boimler was all starstruck by Pike and the whole crew
They were
and
all
Spock.
starstruck. They were all starstruck by the different characters and then like Ahura and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they were.
It's
It
it's
was really cool.
it's weird too because it's like the characters in Strange New Worlds are all so young. They just don't imagine themselves as heroes yet. You know, they just see
Yeah,
themselves as just like young cadets. I mean, they're not cadets; they actually have their jobs, but it's like they're seeing
they're
themselves as so
ensigns.
they're ensigns. Yeah, they're so inexperienced. They don't see themselves as heroes yet, and it's like it's really hard to when people do gain experience. It's hard for them to see themselves as an experienced professional.
And it's really hard for people to see themselves as heroes when
hmm
they don't know what they're going to wind up doing to
It's
save
true.
people. Of course, that's not the case with Pike.
hmm
Pike actually knows that he's going to uh, be severely disfigured because of saving a few different Starfleet officers.
hmm
He knows that it's going to happen in like 10 years,
hmm
and that's it. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the last story that he's going to have. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna find a way to avoid that because they seem to be doing kind of a different reality for this one. Somebody pointed out recently on one of the message boards that uh, Jim Kirk didn't know that Carol Marcus was pregnant until, or didn't know that they had a kid together until like Star Trek Two, and it's definitely before that. So like that's a different thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed. I gotta look at this list here. I really enjoyed those old scientists. Under the Cloak of War was really interesting. You wanted to talk about hegemony.
Yeah, so we get uh, the romance between Christine and Spock when there's like the big explosion and they're holding hands and it's like basically they've saved each other pretty much. I
Yeah,
love that part right there. And I said to Gandalf, I was like, we need to write a scene for Darian and Kristen. Like
yeah,
the romantic, like later. Like it'll be like book two or something, book three even. Like because we need to write a whole bunch of conflict for them first.
yeah. That's
You
something
know?
we didn't really include in the podcast,
Yeah.
and
Not
honestly,
yet. They're not ready for that yet. They have
well,
to
they're
build
supposed to
up
have
to that.
conflict. In the book, they definitely have
Well, they're in their
conflict.
honeymoon period, but now they have to have this like a whole bunch of conflict, and then I want them to have this like big romantical moment. I
Yeah.
think that'll be good. And then also we get to see Scotty with his professor, Commander Pelia, right? And it just adds this huge depth of character for Scotty. You get to see her. She was his teacher, and basically now,
His bet. She
you
said she
know,
described him as
yeah.
her best students with the worst grades.
Yeah, I
Her
love
best
that
student
because
with the
like
worst
you
grades.
know so much more about Scotty now that like you can see where this ingenuity came from. You can see like that he was the troublemaker in his class, like he was the one always trying to, create something with some weird, strange ideas, You just see that and it adds this beauty to the character. You can see who he's like
Yeah,
as a young chap,
yeah.
you know?
I mean, it's really interesting. I'm thinking about this now. So, Strange New Worlds is a prequel series
Yeah.
to the original Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think they should continue with the actors that are playing those characters and
Hmm.
make eventually it be the Kirk's crew.
Yeah.
Uh, but the thing is, like sequel series, this is not the first or prequel series. This is not the first prequel series that's done well.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one that I can remember doing really well was Smallville.
Hmm.
Smallville prequel series was amazing. It had 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Um, so we should wrap this up.
Yeah. So basically that's what we think about the Strange New Worlds, what's been going on with that. Hope you enjoyed it and we can't wait to talk about what's gonna happen next season because they left us on a
Yeah,
cliffhanger.
they left us like this. This is
Yeah.
Gorn.
So you guys have a great weekend.